All right. Thanks everyone for tuning in. We have part 4 tonight of Meet Your Upline. And I just love this series because you guys get to see and meet all the people. Oh, and I got to mute that darn Facebook. That came before you in Plexus. That basically, thanks to them saying yes, you are here. Like it literally was a trickle down effect. So think about that for a minute and think about, you and this being, your future one day of you being on a call with this amazing, massive team like what Jamie and Kim have. And, people thanking you for saying yes to Plexus because you said yes and you kept sharing, now they're here running this business. So I'm Kim's level 9, right? And Jamie's level 8, we're getting up there. And so to introduce them really quick, Kim is currently retired thanks to Plexus. She is a director at her church for preschool, and she does 2 days a week, just kind of for fun, and loves to interact with them. Jamie is a teacher, but she has actually been able to retire her husband from being an auto technician, and he is now pursuing more along the lines of his dream by being able to go to paramedic school and become an EMT and firefighter. So that's super exciting. You're going to get to hear all about their stories. So ladies, let's start off with tell us your name so people know which one is which, the state you live in, and how long you've been with Plexus thus far.
You want me to go first? I'll go. So Kim Tharp, I've been with Plexus. It'll be 5 years, September 22nd. So almost in a month, it'll be 5 years. Jamie is my level 1. So she signed up right after me. I'm from Texas. We actually live in Rockport, Texas now, where Hurricane Harvey came in almost a year ago in a few days. Was that it? Texas? Yep. Texas. And Kim Tharp, Sapphire.
Yep. Yes, and they're both Sapphires in the company. Okay, go for it, Jamie.
Hello, everybody. I'm Jamie. I will celebrate my 5-year in October. So Kim shared with me at school, I am in Texas. My husband and I are from California, so we have the link to our California team because I signed Janelle. She was in my college group going to college. And been here in Texas now for 12 years now.
So, and just so those of you that have continued watching these trainings, last week you met Janelle and Stephanie. So to connect the two now, Jamie is the one that signed Janelle Espling. Okay, so that's where they all connect. Okay, so Jamie, let's see. Let's start with you, Jamie, and then we'll kind of work our way up to Kim. How did you come to hear about Plexus and eventually try the products? And then what have the products done for your health?
Okay, so I teach at a little private school called Legacy. If you know Melissa, our Diamond Upline, she and I and Kim and a couple other Jules all were teaching at this cute little private school where I still teach. I took a year off, but went back because I just love teaching. And I saw Melissa sharing 5 years ago during the summer and kind of made fun of her on Facebook. And I remember messaging her saying, you really don't make any money with that. Like, I needed money, but I didn't want her to know that. And so kind of just went back and forth for a little bit, didn't really believe it was what it was. And then my classroom was across from the workroom, and Kim was up there making copies one day, and she had a little decision pack, which back then, 5 years ago, it was like a 3-day sample of Slim and Accelerator and a CD or a DVD, I don't know, I didn't watch it, of like the opportunity, and you could learn about the company. And I was just like, okay, so now I have two people that I've seen with this Plexus thing. I did not know Kim was underneath Melissa. I did not want Melissa to know I was secretly researching this stuff. And so what I did was, like any other person, I looked up their comp plan, because I was like, I'm sure these products are great. I've seen Melissa post about them, and now Kim is taking them, but I need some financial help. And so when I saw that you could go to Hawaii and get a Lexus and just the financial freedom, because I was tutoring on my off days. For those of you that don't know, we have 6 kids. At the time, we had 5. And my husband was working 60 hours a week with Lexus and Toyota, and so I never saw him. And just trying everything. I made turbos. I had a popular math blog, and was just spending all my time trying to make ends meet. And so I saw the opportunity, and I thought, you know what? If Melissa can make, $300 a month, I can make $300. And I really did not know how much she was making. She'd only been doing it for about 2 months. And since Kim gave me the sample pack, I thought, you know what? This is the second person that's approached me about this. I'm going to give it a shot. And so I signed up under Kim, because I didn't want Melissa to know that I'm going to eat my words of making fun, of her. And, you get those emails of, hey, congratulations. And so Melissa messaged me. I was like, I see you're on our Plexus team. And I'm like, oh, crap. Kim's on your team too. But it was just so good, because our school was just a tiny school, and it was just neat to have somebody like Kim. We ran alongside each other, we challenged each other, and it has made such a difference for me and my family, because I have not had to trade my time for money. I've not had to teach summer school. I've not had to give away all of these precious moments of watching my kids grow up, just to provide food on the table. And health-wise, I bought my welcome pack, because I thought to myself, I'm going to be sharing these products. I at least need to know what they taste like before I start saying, hey, try this amazing pink drink. I don't know what it tastes like, but try it. So they were amazing, because I did not know I needed them. At the time, my youngest was 9 months old. He's now 5.5. And, I had severe anemia, and a lovely X Factor has made all the difference. I have so much more energy. I was running through Starbucks twice a day on the days I taught. And so, of course, that will also break the bank. So it not only helped me save money, but I don't need that anymore. And it has helped every member of our family, from my husband, who needed to gain 30 pounds, and his ADHD helped, my oldest son with his ADHD, my daughter with eczema, my other son with ADHD. We just love the Plexus products. There is always going to be Plexus love in our house for it.
Love it. Okay, so you obviously bought it from Kim. So Kim, share with us, how did you come to hear about Plexus and eventually try the products? And then what is your health testimony?
So Melissa, like Jamie said, we were all teaching together, and Melissa's son, Nate, had a huge crush on my daughter, who's the same age. And so Melissa and we talked, but Melissa was kind of a supervisor at the school. Shocking, right? Because she's got that leader personality. So she was kind of a supervisor. She wasn't my supervisor, but just because of that, I didn't talk to her. I didn't see her much. And she just came up to me one day. We were in car line, and she says, my son will not stop talking about your daughter. So that's basically how we started talking. And then I became Facebook friends with her. And then I saw her post about Plexus. And I had just signed up to sell another network marketing company's supplements, literally maybe 2 weeks before I saw her post about Plexus. And so of course, I'm going to try anything from anyone because that's just how I am. And I told her, I'll try this, but you need to give me the customer service number to cancel and to get my money back in 60 days because I'm sure that I will because it's not going to work. And so she's like, oh, just try them, blah, blah, blah. And something else Melissa was really, really good at and still is, obviously, is I told her it was the first of the month, or she signed up August, maybe 7th, I think. And it was the first of the month of August. And I said, well, on payday, I'll sign up. Well, on payday, on the 15th, she is messaging me, y'all. So that's something to put on your tip notes, keep good notes. She messaged me on payday. And so because she reminded me, I went in and I ordered. And I ordered from her as a customer. And I was her customer in August. And about halfway through September, I had actually, I was dealing with detox with the Slim. And I was thinking, oh, I don't know. And she said, Kim, just keep going. She said, you didn't gain, the weight you want to lose. You didn't gain it in that short length of time, give it more time. We didn't know about gut health 5 years ago. We just knew we had a great product. We didn't necessarily know the why of how it worked and all of that when we started. She said, just give it time. Look at these testimonies, blah, blah, blah. So Melissa's very good at what she does. And so I said, okay, I'll keep trying. And so it was the next few weeks that started to turn around for me and I started losing weight. And so September 22nd, I just made a flippant comment to her, maybe at school. It was just a comment in the halls passing. I said, gosh, maybe I should just sign up to sell this stuff. You make it look so easy. And so she's like, you should, let's sign you up. And so I signed up. Didn't really know what I was doing. I just signed up, fine, all right. And I basically did it because we needed to get out of debt. And so I thought if I can make a little bit, if I can just make my products back, I'd be good. So I started losing weight and signed up to work it. And I took Jamie a sample because I had no clue. Jamie and I were friends, but we weren't as close of friends to know that she needed this business for her finances drastically. I didn't know that. I just thought, here, try this sample and sign up. And just for the record, I had no clue that she had talked to Melissa. I mean, we had never talked about that. Like the three of us never sat down and talked. It was always separate. And so I gave her that sample and I said, you need to try it. I really like it. Anyway, and that's how Jamie signed up. But as the months went on and we started learning about gut health and I realized what our ProBio 5 has, and I started taking that and I started giving it to my kiddos. And just for my health, I suffered with yeast infections. If there's any men on here, you can just close your ears. But I struggled with yeast infections from when I was probably 2 or 3 years old up until the time in our marriage. So years and years. With ProBio 5, I got one more yeast infection after taking that with my detox, and I've never had another one in 5 years after suffering my entire life. And so that in and of itself made me passionate about these products. But also with the products that came out in the future, I had dealt with anxiety, fear of crossing over a bridge. I mean, just stupid anxiety things that these products, balancing my gut, has helped. Not to mention losing weight and all of that as well. So just my health has been drastically changed. My son has an amazing testimony on these products about how they've helped. If you're on the Let's Get Healthy page, his testimony is on there. It's just amazing. My husband has lost weight. He Vital Biome helps with his stress. My daughter takes it for her sugar-aholic. She is a sugar-aholic or was. And so the ProBio 5 just really helps her stay on an even keel and not just want sugar all the time. So the products have definitely been life-changing.
That's awesome. I had no idea about some of your health testimony with all that, Kim. That's amazing. Okay, so let's talk about moving things into the business portion. Well, you kind of explained a little bit for you, and maybe a little bit for both of you, but just, I guess, take us more into your thought process when joining the business. Did you think that this was going to be, something big, and then tell us about, just in a nutshell, like your journey to Emerald and Sapphire.
I'll go first since I went first last time. Well, when I joined with the last $35 on our credit card, and I had to buy my welcome pack when we got paid a week later. And I remember trying to convince my husband, like, please let me try this. I see the potential with the comp plan. And I showed him the little stair step, and I'm like, look, we can go to Hawaii. Like, I've always wanted to go to Hawaii. And when I signed up, I bought a calendar and put Maui on the week. And I was like, I am going to Hawaii. And my husband told me, well, you have 2 months to make this work. And if you don't earn your money back, because I had done Arbonne when we moved to Texas, and I just did not make any money with that. And so I was like, all right, I know the possibility with this, and I need this to work. And so I just immediately after signing up started sharing on Facebook, like, I'm so excited about this journey. I can't wait for you all to see what God is going to do. And I just believed I was going to make it. And so I went silver in 4 days and was just on a roll. And I went senior ruby in 6 months, and then emerald in 14. And then so that was December of 2014. And then we went sapphire. I went sapphire in April of 2016. So it took a little bit longer to go sapphire. But your points and your, like Autumn said, were very deep. So I had to learn how to really be a leader in all of that. But financially, to see my husband not be as stressed about where are we going to find money to put food on the table? How are we going to, keep the lights on in the house? How are we going to, having to tell your kids they cannot go to a birthday party because you don't have an extra $20 or $10 to buy a birthday present is hard because they don't understand. And so to be able to just say yes finally to those things was just such a blessing. And to see him be able to, we took a year off as a family. I didn't teach, I homeschooled, and he retired, and we just tried to make up for all the time that we had lost as a family. And to do that was just priceless. And I was then able to go back to teaching because I missed it. We love each other. However, we discovered homeschooling is not for us. Being a teacher, it was very challenging. And I teach high school math, and my kids at that time were in elementary. So it was challenging for me. But I was able to go back to teaching. And my husband was able to pursue his love for the medical field, and he was a firefighter for a year. He's an EMT now, and he is about to start paramedic school next month, right when we get back from Maui. So for him, it's amazing to be able to give that gift of pursuing your dreams without having to worry about what's tomorrow going to look like.
I love that. Wow, that's powerful, and I know so many people can relate to that. Kim, what about you? Take us through your business and what you initially thought this would be, and then, like Jamie, how has this business been a blessing to your family?
So like I said, I started the business. I gave Jamie the samples. She signed up. I think I signed a friend up, so I might have had 2 ambassadors, and then she signed her 3rd person and went silver. And for some reason, when I signed up, I was just kind of playing. Mainly because I had been in other network marketing companies before, and I really thought this would be just like those companies, and I would just do a little bit and then get out of it. And so Jamie went silver, and I'm like, oh my goodness, she made it to the first level of this comp plan. And that was a light bulb moment for me. And I started looking at the comp plan then, because I hadn't even looked at it. I didn't even know I was getting the check. Anyway, so Melissa, she was funny. She's like, you're going to get paid Friday. I'm like, for what? For Jamie signing up. I'm like, awesome. So she went silver. I'm like, she made it to the first level. Like I've never done that in any network marketing company. Made it to a level. Are you kidding me? And so I signed another person, and boom, I was silver. And from then on out, it was like Jamie and I were unstoppable. we just ranked up together the whole way. My husband had started a assistant principal position mid-year in January. When he started the position, his counselor quit. And if you know anything about how administration is run in schools, if the counselor is in charge of the state test and all of that awfulness, and so when the counselor leaves, it's all on to the assistant principal. And so we didn't see him, and it was an hour drive back and forth. It was an hour to work, an hour back. Of course, the Californians out there probably, that's normal for y'all, but it wasn't for us. And so we never saw him. So while I'm working my Plexus business, I'm literally not seeing my husband very much, and my kids, and I'm like single parenting it for the most part. And I'm working my business, and Melissa is telling me, what her paycheck was. And it wasn't that much, but I was like, oh my gosh, I can do this. And so around March of 2014, like Jamie says, about 6 months in, I hit Senior Ruby and I got my check, and it was more than my husband's assistant principal check. And so I sat down with him and I said, I know that you haven't, I've been handling everything, but I just want you to know I'm quitting my teaching job in May. And he's like, what? Why? I'm like, because I'm making more than you are. And my paycheck is like double what I was making teaching in a month. And so he's like, okay, we'll quit. So I did. And he ended up at the end of that, in May, he hated his position. He hated what he was doing, and he wanted to go back into the classroom. And so financially, he was able to quit that position without having another teaching position in place. He was able to walk away at the end of the school year and resign and not re-sign his contract. And then over the summer, find another teaching position. Had he not found that teaching position, we would have been okay. And so that was a huge blessing. And then I ranked up to Emerald that following November, so November 2014. And that was just amazing. And I still pinch myself, even though I've been to Hawaii 3 times. This will be our 4th time coming up in September. It still is unreal. I still can't really believe it sometimes, to be honest. And so my husband always had a dream to move to the coast and fish for a living. He's a captain now. He got his captain's license. We moved out to Rockport, which is right by Corpus Christi. If you're familiar with Texas, Corpus Christi is probably the biggest coastal town down there. A little bit prettier than Galveston, about 3 hours from Galveston, Texas. And so we're in Rockport, which is the little town. We always wanted to move our kids to a small town so they could be big fish and, small pond type of situation. And they're just thriving here. My husband was able to quit his teaching position. And we moved here. And for 1 full year, like Jamie, we were actually off the same year together, our husbands. And I would wake up in the morning and he'd be making breakfast, doing car rider line, y'all. It was amazing. So that year was amazing. He reconnected with our kids after being gone and not being there. And then at the end of that year, he looked at me and he said, I love this, but I am bored. I don't know how you do it. So he's like, I'm going to go back to teaching on my own terms, because whenever he would teach, he would also coach, because you had to get that extra coaching stipend, to make ends meet. We were always in debt because I was a teacher first. I don't even think I said that, but I taught first before I quit. Well, yeah, I did. But anyway, we were paycheck to paycheck. Teachers get paid nothing, as you know. And so we were very much in debt, very much paycheck to paycheck. And then suddenly God just rained down on us this business. And like Jamie said too, we both ranked up so fast that we really didn't know what we were doing. And so then we had to learn how to lead, learn how to help our teams. But it's just been amazing blessing for our family, and just living the dream out here, to be honest. And he's teaching, he's not coaching. Last year, all 3 of them were at the same school. And so they would go together, come home. It's 5 minutes from our house. I could walk there if I want to. It's just amazing. So just great.
Wow. And I love that you guys have kind of shared how much you've worked this business together. We kind of call that power partners in Plexus. And I just want to take a minute to say, go find your power partner. It is so powerful. Rachel Clausen is mine. And just to have that right-hand man, and you work and do things together, it just makes a world of difference. So if you don't have someone like that, I mean, you can always do your upline, but you can also do sidelines. There's lots of people that just connect with someone else, it's somewhere else on the team. Just go find someone and lock arms and run with them and do this business with them. Okay, so last question for you guys, we'll start with Jamie again, is so what tips do you have for the people watching? I think most people on here are doing this business, but they're working for success, all of them for different reasons. What tips of advice would you give to them?
I would say my biggest tip is don't let your circumstances dictate how you work your business. I think for me, I wanted this business so bad, and so it was very easy for me, but it was also easy to get comfortable. And so I always tell people, if I can do it, anybody can do it. Because at the time we had 5 kids, ages 9 months to 5 years old. Our oldest 5 are all 5 within a year apart of each other. And my husband was never home. And so I was a single parent most of the time and teaching on top of that, which if you know any teachers, there's a lot of work that goes into that. And so being consistent in my business and just setting aside that time and not letting my circumstances become excuses really, really helped, because I had a goal. I told you guys, I wrote, I'm going to Maui in my little planner when I signed up. That was my goal. And when I achieved that, I didn't stop. I was like, I'm going to be diamond, and things happen in life. It's like, when people say, I'm going to wait till I'm financially ready to have kids, you're never going to be financially ready to have kids. And so I always tell people, you're never going to have time, because you're always going to make the time for what you want to make time for. So don't let those circumstances of, I've got, long hours, I've got a lot of kids, I've got, no time. Look at where you can carve out a few minutes of time a day. When I first started, I literally sat in the hallway between, we had a 2-story house, and we had a hallway between the boys' room and the girls' room. And I would sit up there at the top of the stairs with my laptop while they went to bed, and I would work my business for 30 minutes every night. And I would just sit in the hallway because I had to be a mom still, and, had to not do my responsibilities and stuff, but I knew the potential with the business. And so make the time to really work your business, and it's there.
Love that. Yep. If it's a priority, then you'll see success. But if it's not a priority and it's a hobby, then like they say, you'll just get paid like a hobby. Kim, what about you?
My hobbies have never paid me, just saying.
That's true.
My husband has expensive hobbies: fishing, golfing, hunting. They have never paid him, just saying. Okay, so my tips 100% would be give back, even when I'm not necessarily financially, but with whatever you can do, whatever God has blessed you with, give back. Obviously, as you work this business and you are blessed more in this business, then you can bless financially. We've been able to go on family mission trips and be able to give to people that we wouldn't have when we're in debt and stressed ourselves. And so the freedom to do that. But before we had the freedom to do that financially, you can do it with your time. Just, little things. There's things you can do that don't cost money. So giving back and truly caring about others. People know when you're faking it. They know when you're not sincere. And so if you truly have a heart for others, you can succeed in this business. Personal development is huge. When I started this business, I read for fun. I read fiction books for fun. And I haven't read a good fiction book in a while, because now I'm reading personal development books. I never read never, because I just wanted to read for entertainment. Well, I've learned through this that if I'm not growing myself as a person, as a leader, a woman of God, or, whatever it is, if you're not like developing that, it's hard to lead others to where you want to go. So if you're here, you can't lead your people here. You've got to keep moving up so your people can keep moving up with you. And then mindset. I think probably this entire business rests on right here and what you think about it. And if you think and worry about your posts are offending someone, or your family doesn't like it, or whatever it is, it'll be very hard to be successful in this business. So you've really got to maybe read some books on mindset. There's tons of them out there, but just really believing that you can do it. See yourself on the islands of Maui and think about it and tell yourself you're going to do it. Or I don't want to even say going to, but just say, I'm there. I will be at Maui next year. All of these things create that mind in your mindset. And so if you can keep that positive and like Jamie said, work every day. I mean, if you can't give 30 minutes a day, give 5 minutes a day, but just be consistent with your time that you have to give. And that's pretty much my top 4 tips. And those, have gotten us through.
Love that. And yeah, just to piggyback on like what you said with the consistency, it has to be a daily thing, guys. Like it all just builds upon each other. So if you take a break, then that harvest is that much farther out, but if you keep planting, that harvest is going to come much sooner. Thank you, ladies, so much. So to recap, we are at Kim. Kim signed Jamie. Jamie signed Janelle Espling. And then Janelle to Stephanie Murray. Stephanie Murray signed her mom, Sarah McCarty, who you guys saw a couple of weeks ago. Sarah McCarty signed her friend, Pat. Pat signed Amber Hargett. And then Amber Hargett signed Erin Bush. Erin Bush signed me. I signed Rachel Clausen, and you all are here. Next week, we are going to have, who Kim was talking about, one of our other Diamond Upline, Melissa Eichenhorst. And that's going to be an awesome story for you guys to hear. So thank you so much for tuning in. Let me stop the recording here.